This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hello, everybody. This is Viktor Tykki, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and CastBox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Viktor Tykki.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here.
How are you today, Viktor?
I'm doing quite well. It's a cold winter day in Finland.
Well, can you tell us where we can find you next, event-wise?
You can find me on Instagram, Viktor Tykki PW, Facebook, Viktor Tykki, and I think that's quite all. I haven't branched out to anywhere else yet.
And where can we find merchandise?
Merchandise-wise, I haven't opened up anything yet. And if we have t-shirts, it's usually on our own events here in Finland, so I have to look into online stores.
I gotcha. So only in person as of right now?
As of right now, yeah.
Okay. And you don't have to go looking for it. All the links to his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and CastBox. Alright. You work for FCF. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Absolutely. FCF is the company in Finland that I started wrestling for. I was trained by them in 2016, so it's like my home promotion where I wrestle most of the times, not including the trips to other countries when I'm booked there.
Okay. And, not to, start on, a bad note, but, you was FCF Tag Team Champions, and then your titles were stolen from you, no?
Yeah, they were stolen by a stable named Inquisition, and we were unfortunately stripped of our titles the last show.
Why was you stripped of the titles when they were stolen from you? You were not in the wrong.
That's the question I asked too, but what I understand from the committee was that because we couldn't find them in the right amount of time, they were forced to strip them of us.
That seems like injustice, no?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, I mean, going back to it, what did it kind of mean to you to hold those titles with Alpha?
It was for me. It was an honor to hold them. There have been, in Finnish standards, there have been few teams I would say they could be at the top of the Nordic wrestling scene at the moment. So just to continue the legacy of those titles with Alpha, I think that was like a huge honor for me.
And you were the longest reigning FCF Tag Team Champions as well. What is holding?
Yeah, we became the longest single reigning champs in the belt's history.
What is holding
that for me?
Yeah.
But for me, that was like, I wasn't sure if we're gonna even make it, but to get to say that you're the longest reigning title holder, I think that means more. That means more to me than how many times I win it.
Right. Now, I mean, you know, when you did win those championships, was that a moment you took in the moment, or is that something that kind of set in afterwards? Like, wow, I did this.
At the moment, when we got the pin 1, 2, 3, I think I was a bit like, I stopped for a bit. I didn't realize it, but when we were they handed us the titles, I was like, oh shit, I'm actually a tag team champion now.
Okay. And let's talk about your tag team partner, Alpha. Can you tell us about your relationship with him?
Absolutely. Alpha he has become like one of my closest friends in wrestling and outside of wrestling. Like, the dude he's just a lovable guy. Like, it's fun to say, like, when you meet the guy, he's like this tall, huge dude, and you're like, oh shit. But then when he opens up to you and starts to talk to you, you're like, this dude is a teddy bear. Like, how can you not love the guy?
What is a pet peeve about Alpha that you just don't understand?
You know what? I haven't even thought about that. And right now, from the top of my head, I can't even say anything.
Okay, fair enough. Now, can you tell us about Bags on a pole match against Sebastian?
Yeah, absolutely. It was after the match was, or the challenge was laid, when our titles were stolen, and they were running around with these like silk bags, which were similar style that we used to carry our titles. So we saw that and we were like, hey, of course we're going to think that, okay, those are our titles, so we want them back, and we challenged them for the bags, and unfortunately it went from a tag team title pole match just to a singles pole match with Sebastian. But at the end of the match, we got wind of that they weren't our titles either way. They were their stable's little Christmas presents.
So, it seems like they just keep dodging you at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, prior to that, you did actually wrestle, in Sweden against Ozzy Miller and Jay Miller for Stockholm Pro Wrestling. Seems like that would be a great, combination for you and Alpha. Can you tell us about that match?
Yeah, we were supposed to wrestle Miller time, but it turned out it went for a 6-man tag. It was Miller time and their friend Kenzin versus me, Alpha, and God, I can't remember the luchador's name now. It was like, it went for, it's hard to say now, but the match, I find it was quite good. Like, I was surprised by how well-rounded Miller Time was, and we actually have a chance to do the real tag team match, hopefully on next week on Saturday. So I get to learn more about them.
Okay. And what is kind of the differences? What are the differences you saw wrestling in Sweden compared to Finland?
I think I believe that I would say that in Finland it's a bit more organized, and in Sweden it's more a bit chaotic, like not in a bad way. But there's so many guys going around, so it's hard to like ask them like, hey, can I help you with something or stuff like that. So wrestling wise, it's a bit the same, but it's a little different feeling wrestling there and being home in Finland.
I gotcha. And your tag team partner was Gizmo.
Oh yeah.
And you know, in that match with Miller Time, and a lot of your matches, it seems like when you put a certain hole on your opponents, it kind of causes them to give the middle finger to the crowd, no?
Yeah, I've started to think about that. Like, I don't know, are they trying to give the finger to me, or but because I'm behind them, so why they're holding it to their audience?
When did that start happening?
I believe back in 2018.
And what?
It rarely happens now in Finland, but usually when I'm in Sweden, it almost happens every time.
Interesting. What kind of made you come up with that, or provoke that?
I think it's just a fun way to play with the crowd and get them like making noise about something, like not just sitting there quiet and they see their like favorite wrestler giving them the finger, so it lights them up a bit, I think.
Okay, I gotcha. Other than, you know, Sweden, you have actually wrestled in the UK. Can you tell us about that experience?
Oh, that I miss UK. I wrestled for my friend Giovanni Lombardo, who is now doing announcing. So before that he ran the promotion Pro Wrestling Soul. I was into, like, if I remember correctly, the first time was a Battle Royal, and the second one was I'm not sure, it was a scramble match but something like that. Like, I think there was like 10 guys in the match, but like, it's a bit like, how could I say it in English? I can't find the word, but it was an experience, I would say. But I still love both time I was there. I just loved being around the guys. They were absolutely amazing to me. And just the vibe they had, like I just thought like this is professional, this is like a family here.
What were the differences you saw wrestling in Finland compared to England?
Well, Finland, at least like in FCF, everyone is trained by the company, the head trainers there. So everyone knows each other. And I think in the UK, it's more like they have so many wrestlers from so many different schools. So they haven't like grew up wrestling with each other, I would say. But everyone is like, they're still friends and happy to see each other. In Finland, when we go to a show, we know that these people are going to be here. And I think there they just see who's there when they announce the card or the show.
Okay, I gotcha. And what was you eating in the UK?
Mostly, I'd say normal stuff. I didn't get fish and chips, but wherever like they said like, hey, let's go grab something, I went with them, like maybe Subway or something. I wasn't. I didn't get to know like the UK cuisine there those times.
Okay, I gotcha. Now, one of your most recent matches was a tag team match against A1 Jessica Loaf. Obviously, well-known name in Finland. It's been a real long period of time since you wrestled Jessica. What were kind of some of the differences you saw in yourself wrestling her then as to right now?
Well, back then I think I wasn't like, I was still figuring out something like my own wrestling style or something like how could I make this better. And Jessica being an absolute like a legend in Finland, and I would no, actually not even maybe, she is a legend in the Nordic scene. So wrestling like veteran like that always helps me to like push myself more. And wrestling with Jessica, you have to be prepared to take a hit, because I'm pretty sure that she hits the hardest in Finland or maybe even in the Nordics. So I've always got my chin down, hands up.
Well, speaking of, legends for Finnish wrestling, you have wrestled Stock Adler. What was that experience like?
I think like the first time I ever wrestled Adder, I would say I was a bit nervous. Like you said, here's the guy who is considered like one of the best technical wrestlers in Finland, one of the most loved characters in Finland. Like the first time, and it was this main event of a summer show outside, so that was nerve-wracking for me. Just getting a singles match with a guy who you respect so much. After that, the few times we faced each other, they were in a, I believe, 5-on-5 elimination tag, and then I had another tag team match against him. But on those matches, I was already like a bit more confident in myself, So I wasn't worried like, am I being way too stiff or am I like getting lost wrestling with these big name guys? But out of that, like getting to wrestle with Adder is always a honor and a pleasure.
And besides Stark Adler, is A1 Johnny McMetal. No?
Yeah. I haven't wrestled that many times with Johnny. There's we have had few tag team matches, I believe. And they have went well, but like I respect his hustle for the business and being in the business for so long. But I don't think, like, we never got to a one-on-one match show. And when I started, he wasn't there, so it's harder to say it with him than with Adder.
I gotcha. Well, all the things that we've been talking about, all these incredible moments that you've had, you actually left pro wrestling for 2 years. What kind of caused you to step away from pro wrestling, and what brought you back?
It was mostly because of a burnout and a little bit of mental problems, and my knees were taking a bunch of hits at one point, or beatings. So I decided to, first I was thinking of maybe I'll just take a few months off, stuff like that. But when the time was coming nearer to my match where I was supposed to take time off, I just felt like maybe it's better not to put a date on, like, okay, I'm coming back here, and just take a break from all of it and see if I start feeling better, if my knees are getting stronger. Let's see if I still have the passion and desire to wrestle. So that's why I left back in 21? No, 22. And I think, like, most of the wrestlers, all the guys, girls, everyone backstage who I have shared these years with, they just continue to, like, keep up with me outside, like, and ask me how I was doing, stuff like that, and wanting to hang out. So I think that started the passion again, like, just being with everybody again, having fun at these events, hanging out and stuff, and that's just, it felt good. So I just had to come back to them mostly, and the fans, because they too, like, so many messaged me like, hey, I hope you're doing well, please, we're waiting for you to come back.
What did that kind of mean to you, to have the fans reach out to you, tell you that they miss you?
I was surprised. Like, I like to think myself as a humble guy, and just hearing about people talking about me, like, they miss me, some messaging me, like, telling me that how much they want to see me wrestle again. Like, I wasn't prepared for that at all. So, and it just, like, that got to me too, like, I can't just leave when everybody wants to see me wrestle again.
Okay. Now, you were actually featured in a magazine, with Starbuck. I believe that was to promote, slam wrestling. How did that come about, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, that was, oh God, was it 2019 or something like that? He messaged me about like, I be free to come and promote Slam on that day, and I believe it was like a Friday or something like that. So I had time. I told him, why not? I'm free, I can do it. Got there, we did a like 5 minute or less, like maybe 3 minute match that the press filmed. And I was mostly part just for the match part. I didn't promote that much Slam either way, but it was a fun experience.
I feel like, it's one thing to be, on like a website, but it hits different when, it's in your hands. It's black and white. Did you feel that way?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Oh, I was saying, it's one thing to like be featured on, a website, but I feel like it hits different when it's in your hands. It's in black and white. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think I have the magazine still somewhere at my place. Like it's just fun to like, and I get to say like to my friends outside wrestling and stuff like, hey, I was in this magazine and I'm still there. You can see me if you want.
And, obviously, Starbuck, you can't talk about Finnish pro wrestling without mentioning him. Is that a match you want against Starbuck?
Yeah, I could say that. Like, I don't think I have ever, like, really stepped in the ring with him. I have obviously stepped in the same ring, but never at the same time on, like, any sort of occasion. So if that happens, I would be honored, and hopefully maybe someday. I can't say like at all if that is going to happen, but never say never.
I mean, yeah, it's pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
I think it's time for Viktor's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the road, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Road story. Oh, damn. Well, like, I think this was the second time I was in. No, this was the first time I was in Sweden. Like, I've been wrestling for 2 years at the moment, or 3, something like that. So I flew down to Stockholm, got off the plane, went to the airport, and opened up my phone and was like, okay, I have no service, I have no internet, I have nothing. My sense of direction is shit. So I logged into the airport's Wi-Fi, messaged the guy who I was wrestling like, hey, here's the situation. I don't have service, I don't have internet. Is somebody coming to pick me up from the airport, or I have to go to a bus or a train? So he told me, hey, jump to this train, go there. Okay? Right at that moment, the Wi-Fi cut, so I'm again out of internet. I jumped on the bus, went to the city central, and again facing the same problem. I can't reach nobody.
Oh no.
I'm screwed here. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. So there's me, young lad, standing middle in the city center, trying to figure out, is there a free Wi-Fi somewhere? Because otherwise I'm gonna stay here the whole show. So luckily I got, like, I don't remember, was it some sort of cafe or something like that. I got Wi-Fi there, quickly called the guy like, hey, I'm still fucked. My operator won't allow me. It's like, I don't remember what it was, but there was some problem with the Finnish operator, so I couldn't get internet or service in Sweden. So I called him quickly, told him like, please save me from here. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go, and I'm starting to get scared, so to say. But he told me like, yeah, don't worry, someone is coming there. And one of the guys, like maybe half hour later, someone came to pick me up, and I was just laughing my ass off. Like, I'm a grown-ass man in a different country. I don't understand Swedish. I can't read Swedish. So I'm just like a lost puppy in this big city center thing, just laughing my ass off, telling we do the match and then we're gonna drinking, and please nobody leave me behind. like that's one of the funniest things that ever happened to me. Like, this never happened again. Even when I was in the UK, I still had service and internet, but to get that, like, the first time you're ever going to wrestle outside of Finland, and this happens, and you're like, oh my god, I'm screwed.
I could definitely imagine.
Yeah, like, when I was in the UK, I understand English, I can speak it, I can write it, I can read it, no problem at all. But in Sweden, I'm like, what is this mumbo jumbo they're speaking?
Right. No, I got you. All right. Can you tell us about your love of anime?
Well, it all started when I was a wee little boy. Now, if I remember correctly, like, most guys of my age who like anime, it stems from Dragon Ball Z.
Of course.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's like every millennial guy in their 30s, early 40s who watch anime started watching from Dragon Ball. And that's like how it started for me. I just like, it's hard to talk about the love of it, but I think the characters, the stories are better, and the execution is always better, like in a animated show than it is like a live action.
Right.
At least when you watch let's say the worst movie I have ever seen is Dragon Ball Evolution, which is the live action Dragon Ball movie.
Yes.
You just can't do the same things in a live action that you can do in anime.
Yeah, I agree with that. What's your favorite Dragon Ball character?
I would have to go with Vegeta.
Favorite song?
Like
continue.
No, I was just saying, like, the story, well, the character arc that he had, the growth, just is one of the best things that there was in Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah. Favorite saga?
Probably Namek. It's a bit long, but the first Super Saiyan transformation still, it holds up to this day still.
Oh, definitely. Alright. Other than Dragon Ball, what's your other favorite animes or favorite anime?
One other, I would say One Piece. I started watching like back in 2000 when I got a computer and I could go to the, maybe not the legal sites back in the day, but I watched like from there. And nowadays it's like Jujutsu Kaisen. I just started watching Sakamoto Days, which is hilarious.
That's about the hitman, right?
Yeah, the hitman who got fat and is still kicking ass.
I haven't watched that yet.
I think yesterday the third episode came out.
Okay.
At least in Finland.
I usually I wait until the whole show is out and then I just watch every episode.
Yeah. That's like I usually do that too, but some shows I just want to watch, like keep up and watch the episode when they come out.
I gotcha. Heading back to One Piece. Favorite One Piece character?
It's a tie between Ace and Mr. 3, Bon Clay.
Ah, Bon Clay.
Everybody says Luffy and Zoro that stuff, but Bon Clay, just a hilarious character and a true friend.
Oh yeah.
And Ace was just the coolest character when he was introduced and a few of the fights that he had.
I think you kind of showed your hand, but favorite arc?
Marineford.
I could tell.
And like the close second, if not like almost tied to it, was the Wano arc.
Wano, okay.
The style was it was so great.
Driller Bark, yes or no?
Back then, I would probably say no, but like I'm a grown man now, not a kid anymore, so it doesn't bother me that much anymore.
Okay, so you're kind of okay with it, but still leaning more towards no.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, can you tell us about Magic the Gathering?
What I can, I try to play it here and there. I think I have 2 decks. I haven't opened them in a year, so I have few friends who play it, but I'm slowly drifting away from it. But if someone ever asks me like, "Hey, do you want to play?" Yeah, of course I can play.
Okay, so you're ready to go if you do want to play.
Yeah, I think I'm still holding on to the decks I have in my box somewhere. Probably outdated by now.
How did you get into tabletop games or card games?
One of my closest friends from childhood, like he had like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic the Gathering, and we just like started to play them. We went to some like local tournaments that they had held, and I think this was just fun time. Like I was never that wild child, so for me, I just wanted to play with cards or tabletops. I think it's relaxing.
Okay. Can you tell us about your tattoos and if they have any special meaning?
Yeah, I have few ones that they do, but like the couple of ones that I got like when I was 18, 19, I think I got like first one 18, then 19. Every year I just got one. My left arm is the one which I think that they have the more meanings than the right one. I have the text on my forearm that says Alea Jacta Est, the famous line from Julius Caesar, the die has been cast. And for me to me that is like everybody has, when they are born, this is how I think, when they are born, there's a die and they cast it, and that it's your job to find out what was casted back then.
Interesting.
Then I have the mask, half mask with a smiling and crying face, which obviously to me that it's like everyone has the same emotions, even though you're outside. If you're like showing this happiness outside, you can still hold sadness deep within you. And even if you're a person who gets emotional quicker than most of the people, you're still a fun-loving person who still likes to laugh and have fun. And the shoulder, I have a French lily, fleur de lis, or sorry for butchering it, with a angel wing and a demon wing. The wings are more like important, but I was once asked like, why did I put the lily there? And that's the dumbest part. It's from Saints Row 3. My friend that we both have the same, like not the same style, but the French lily there. But I decided to add the wings, and for their meaning was just that everyone has a bad and a good side. Like there is no one who is just good or bad. Like everyone has both sides.
Right. Well, you definitely drew me off with the Saints Row reference.
Yeah, no one expects it.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that for a second. Is there any plans for new ink in the future?
Yeah, like the plan I still have is both sleeves, my back, maybe my legs, and chest or stomach. Like I have planned that I try to tattoo almost my whole body, but I don't think that will happen.
Well, is there like a specific design that you really want, or some type of reference or something on you?
Well, the next one I'm planning now is there's two roses, and there is this scripture around them that would say, tell my mama and tell my pa that their fine young son got far, which is from Thin Lizzy's Got to Give It Up. But the last part, he sings, tell my mama and tell my pa that their fine young son didn't get far. And I want to change that from a did get far. Because when I was a kid, I told them like, hey, I told everybody my dream job was to be a professional wrestler. And now I'm doing it. Maybe not for a full-time profession, but I'm still doing the thing I always wanted to do. So that's like, and why I want to change it a bit, with the roses being one from my mom and one for my dad.
I gotcha. That's awesome. And where is that going to go on you?
That I haven't figured out yet. I was thinking about my arm, but I'm a bit obsessed with tattooing my leg because it's closer to getting a sleeve style done.
Okay. I'm sure you might have had a conversation or two with Alice Inc. about tattoos, and 100%
Absolutely. The first time I saw her tattoos, I was like, God damn, that's what I want.
Well, I mean, you've been in the ring with her, no?
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah.
I mean, you said Jessica was, a hard hitter. I can't imagine Alice is far behind, no?
No, I think, like, where Jessica hits hard, Alice kicks hard.
I gotcha.
Like, when Alice made her debut in Stockholm, I still remember the kick that she did, and I just, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh, God damn.
Alright. I think it's time for the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Yeah, that was hard. Now I have to figure out songs.
Pull up that good Spotify if you need to.
I think for the opening or start, I would probably go with Thin Lizzy, This Is the One.
Okay.
Second one would be like I'm battling with 2. I would probably go with Jelly Roll. One of the newest songs, Highway. Was it Dead End Road? It's from the Twister movie. I can now.
I believe it was Highway.
I don't know. Something like it was Highway, but I'm not sure it was just Highway. But like that. And then I would probably go with Slipknot, Snuff. Like those would probably be there somewhere.
Okay. A solid 3 picks, to say the least. Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you, and you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee cameo.
Well, I would say there's no Finnish guy who can cast me. No. I just don't know, like, newer Finnish actors. There is someone who has, like, my siblings thought that he looks like me, so probably he could do it, but I just can't remember his name at all. Like, I don't even know where he has acted because I don't follow Finnish TV or movies that much. If I want to go with a comedy style, I would probably say Jack Black.
Okay. I could see that.
But it's I'm trying to figure out who has my size. there's not many Hollywood actors who are like a bit on the heavier side.
I mean,
not young, but like on their 30s. Like
I mean, we've seen actors transform for
we
roles.
have, yeah.
I mean, just recently, the Penguin.
Yeah, true that. Well, if this one told my cousin once told me like I looked like him in one of my photos, but I think he was Alexander. I can't now remember his name. He played Björn Ironside from the Vikings.
Okay.
I can now for the death of me I can't remember his name. Alexander Ludwig. Like if he was a bit on the chubbier side, I think he's a bit taller than me, but I think like he would be a good choice.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. No,
And he has done a TV show where he wrestles, so he knows it.
that's always a plus. Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people with meaning to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
There would be my childhood best friend, who I've known for, I still say to this day, I'm 31, I have known him for 31 years. He's a tall guy. Who's a tall guy? Tall, dark guy. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. He doesn't look like him anymore, but Austin Butler.
Okay.
He could they have the same. They talk on like the same style. Then I would cast Shemeika because of our wrestling history.
Okay.
And I would probably go with Tom Hardy.
I think, funny enough, I believe when I had Shemeika on, he said Tom Hardy as well.
Nice. Damn.
So you saw at least on the same page.
I think we have that chemistry then if we both say it. And the third one, I would probably go with another close friend of mine, and he would be played by Jonah Hill.
Okay.
They don't absolutely look nothing like, but Jonah Hill has the comedy movies he has done. I think they would click, and he would understand my friend's role.
I gotcha. Alright. This is sounding like a great movie. A blockbuster, to say the least. And
Yeah, I wouldn't probably say that, but maybe some would find it fun and entertaining.
And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Yeah, absolutely.
On to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
As a professional choppy guy, I would say no, but I'm more of a hamburger guy than a pizza guy, so you can always choose what you want. But as a professional chubby guy, I would say no.
Okay. And I mean, a hot take, you're more anti-pizza as a whole.
I'm not anti-pizza, but like, if there's a choice to go out for burgers and pizza, I would probably choose the burger.
I gotcha. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Spirit Pokemon, Snorlax, absolutely, all the way.
Sweet. Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country.
Not just a plain Rock.
Yes, a plain old Rock. Would you wrestle it?
Well, I think like I'm starting to think like if it would be a boulder, like a big rock, the match would be short. It's just me doing a shoulder tackle and I'm down and it just falls on me. So, to be honest, the entertainer in me would say absolutely.
Okay. Well, just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasted for 2 weeks.
This dude is a legend to me now.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. He's done some very unique things in pro wrestling.
But that is wrestling. Like, if it entertains, it belongs in wrestling.
I get that. I would say so, yeah. Alright. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I think I saw something. I was asked this same question, like, I think it was one of my first interviews, and like, I think the question was like, where do I see myself in my career in 2025? And I remember I answered like I would have liked to have a WWE tryout, and we can say that didn't happen. And the second one was that I could have been like, or at least visited USA, but that didn't happen either. So I would probably go like, I want to wrestle more like outside the Nordic region. So hopefully, like, I had just this summer I was in WXW for a training week. We trained for a week. So maybe do that again, get to wrestle there in Germany. Hopefully, like, just if possibility happens, get to Japan and just continue to have fun with wrestling again.
I gotcha. And that's the main thing, having fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, if you got asked that question 5 years ago, I mean, you stopped wrestling for 2 of those years, so you only had 3 years. So,
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, it still is, a possibility in the cards, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. We just add the 2 years to this next 5 years.
So where do you see yourself in 7 years?
In 7 years, I want to say, like, I have at least had a tryout for WWE.
There you go. What is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off you as a pro wrestler?
I think, like, my current, after my comeback, my current run has been one of the funnest and the best I've had. So these can all go. You can watch these matches from showpainitv.tv on the web. It's our FCF streaming service. I think the last few tag team matches. The tag team match I had against Inquisition on, if I remember correctly, it was not September, but before it. Yeah, so I can't remember the months in English.
Okay, I understand.
Is it August? No. Wait, no. August. It's August before September.
August is before September, yes.
Yeah, so that match, you can find it probably by just Isot Pojat Big Boys versus Inquisition. I think that was one of the fun I had. Then I don't know if it's up, but we had a triple threat match with a wrestler called Polar Pekko, who returned a few months ago. Then one of the newer wrestlers called Hempa. I'm not sure if it's up yet, but I think that was a entertaining, fun match. And then one of my absolute favorites that is me against Jamaica at the Winter War 13. That's on YouTube, if I remember correctly. It's a I Quit match.
Okay, so Winter War 13?
Yeah.
Okay. If that match is indeed on YouTube, I will find it and I will grab it and I will put a link to it in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Yeah, and one match I know it's on Shemeka's YouTube channel. It's it's a wrestling show, Live Omega. It's me versus Toni Tamminen versus Shemeka for the FCF title. And that's I forgot because it's a newer match.
Okay.
It's me, Shemeka, and Toni Tamminen. We all are from the same training group, so it's all of us doing the main event for, if not the biggest, the second biggest event in shows we have in Finland. The Winter War was the biggest, and then Omega was the second one.
Okay, and I will definitely grab that match from Shemeka's YouTube channel as well. Like I said, for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round or bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Yes.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
John Cena.
Worst wrestler.
Bastion Booger.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Roman Reigns.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Randy Orton, the first one he had.
Born in My Light.
Yeah.
Okay. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
A myth. No, sorry. Kayfabe is needed sometimes.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
Fruit.
That is correct. It is indeed a fruit. New Japan wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
I would say a bit over like the butt cheek, so it's a bit on the thigh.
Okay, so full coverage.
Yeah, cover the booty.
Cover
If
the
it's
booty.
not a good booty.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
Never in my life.
And that's the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor and a pleasure.
The honor was all mine. And once again, where can we find you on social media?
On Instagram, Viktor Tykki PW. On Facebook, Viktor Tykki. And on Twitter, Twitter the same as Instagram, Viktor Tykki PW.
Okay. And you don't even have to go looking for it. You don't have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow. And if you're at a show, buy a damn shirt. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Twitter, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Yeah.
For our very special guest, Viktor Tykki, Kaliko Yachts, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling Wit
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.